Hello, good afternoon, good morning. How's everybody doing? Good. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jessica, and I am the event organizer. Thank you all very much for coming this morning and being able to recognize our students today. Couple of things. The food is ready to be served. There is a pasta dish for those who identified as needing vegetarian. So if you are not vegetarian, we would kindly ask that you leave the pasta for those who did indicate. And then if there is any afterwards, then you're welcome to help yourself. If you do have any other allergies or dietary restrictions and you're concerned, we do also have the catering staff available to answer questions. You all are welcome to go ahead and grab lunch, and then we will start our program at 12 o'clock. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so honored to welcome you to our 2025 Annual Student Award Ceremony. I want to say this is our favorite ceremony by far, and I'm thrilled to report to you that this year is the largest that we've ever had. So thank you everyone for being so supportive and for our students for being so great. So it is this time of the year when we reflect on the previous year, and we want to recognize our most outstanding and deserving students, instructors, and this year for the first time, staff as well. So we want today to celebrate their hard work, their achievements, their success. And this celebration, importantly, would not be possible without the help of our donors, our alumni, our SMS community. So we are thankful for your generous donations. And one thing you should know that all the money that you are giving us generously is highly valued, and it enables our student success. So I want to personally thank those donors that are attending the ceremony. First, Bill and Lorna Glausinger. Thank you so much for your enabling innovation award. Innovation awards are so important for ASU. We are for the 10th year in a row, #1 university in innovation. So you guys are helping us achieve that. Thank you. To Martin Hudson, on behalf of Martin Hudson Scholarship of Carbon Capture and Sustainable Energy, this is the most deserving time to have such an award. Steve Johnson, on behalf of Arizona Society of Coding Technology and Scholarship, our students find the most jobs in codings and chemistry-related formulations for the codings. So thank you for this wonderful award. Brian and Dave Risley, on behalf of Ted Brown Scholarship, they're every year visiting us, and this year they came and they looked at our achievements, and our students that were awarded by Ted Brown Scholarship, and they were very pleased and enhanced even the scholarship for the next year. Yu Jong Skibo, on behalf of Edward Skibo Memorial Scholarship, medicinal chemistry is something that we love in this school, and this award helps us select the best and brightest. Steve Monk, I want to thank you for your generous donations and enabling the Barbara Monk Memorial Scholarship. This is very important scholarship, and this is one of the 3 inaugural scholarships this year. And it celebrates and honors the legacy of Barb that we cherish so much. And it's awarding the students that are with financial need and have a desire for a career in science. The second inaugural award is Paul Liddell Award, honoring students working on synthesis of compounds that explores new functions that challenge our imagination. And in the third inaugural award is Barbara Monk Outstanding Service Award that is the first time presented on from SMS to a staff member honoring Barb's legacy. So special thanks to Lisa Fontes and Brittany Sullivan. I saw them someplace. Hi. They're making all these awards happen, and they're increasing our abilities to award our students. Thank you. So before we go to the awards, I want to touch base on some housekeeping items. So first, if you need bathrooms, they're located on the left outside the building. The ceremony program this year will be electronic, and you can scan your barcodes on your table in order to access it. And those attending virtually, they can go on the SMS scholarship page to find it. The ceremony program this year have provided some favors, SMS favors that are located outside this room. So if you want to have a memory of this event, please go and take it. And the event will be recorded and video will be shared after the event. I want to remind all the winners to take a group photo after the ceremony here at the stage. At this moment, I want to introduce Associate Director for Graduate Program, Dr. Ryan Trovich, that's going to begin presentation of graduate awards.
Okay, thank you, Tiana, for getting us started. Before we do start with the awards, I just want to let everybody know that we're going to do things slightly differently this year. Some of you may have noticed that fancy kind of movie screen backdrop over there with the School of Molecular Sciences name on it. So after you come to the stage and you are presented with the award from your presenter, we would ask that you just make your way over to that screen so that we can get a picture taken over there instead of hanging out on stage. Okay. So I would just like to say that our PhD students are some of the most talented and dedicated members of our school, and that most of the chemistry and biochemistry research that goes on here literally goes through their hands. And so this portion of the program affords us an opportunity to recognize our graduate students for their outstanding contributions to research. And so our first award is going to be the Leroy Eyring Memorial Fellowship in Chemistry. And this is awarded to a graduate student who has demonstrated significant contributions in an interdisciplinary approach to research. And this year's award is going to go to Jordan Sinclair, to be presented by Professor Christina Burkle.
Hello, everybody. My name is Christina, and I run a research team here at ASU in the field of solid state chemistry. We synthesize all kinds of cool new types of materials, layered structures, and also 2D materials. But I am happy to talk about Jordan, who I think is a little bit uncomfortable right now. Please go to the center stage. Okay. Jordan. He joined my group in 2021, so I want to call him a COVID student still, because we actually met for the first time virtually, right? He's a fantastic guy, has had tremendous input in our team's research projects. And this award specifically shows this because it's a research award for interdisciplinary research. And what is most exciting about Jordan is that he does not shy away from new projects and from new challenges. And this is not a given thing for all students. I know other students that are a little bit more intimidated to pick up new techniques, not Jordan. He dives right in. I need to learn new techniques. I'm going to learn new techniques. And this is now lately also corroborated by yet another project that he picked up in collaboration with the Long Group on some polymers and some polymeric pre-ceramic materials. So Jordan, you deserve this award. Accept it. And we're all very proud of you. And we can't wait to see what else you're going to accomplish. And we're happy to have you a member of our team. Congrats.
All right. So our next award is going to be the George Yuan Memorial Award, which is given to a graduate student demonstrating exceptional dedication and performance in both teaching and research. And this year's award is going to go to Sobek Padar, and this award will be presented by Professor Marcia Levitis.
So Suvik is another COVID kid. He came to my lab in the spring of 2021, delayed for visa issues. He was supposed to be here the semester prior, but it was a rough time for everyone, but especially for the international students. So I'm not going to embarrass him as Christina did with her student, although I have many anecdotes that I could share. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. But it's been a delight to have him in my lab. He comes from India, obviously, the University of Calcutta. He got a BS in microbiology and a master's in biochemistry. And I didn't know any of that. So I gave him a project in ultrafast laser spectroscopy, because why not? And he never mentioned that he had absolutely no background in anything. And I didn't notice, because he was doing great. So he's doing some biochemistry, but nowadays he's our expert in ultrafast laser spectroscopy. I think he's one of the main users of the ultrafast laser facility, and people come to him for advice, and it's amazing that he has a background in microbiology. So he's the definition of being able to work out of his comfort zone. He has 2 papers published, 2 in the works, so this is also an award that relates to teaching. He's being a TA mostly for general chemistry for majors. He's a very well-regarded TA. He's getting a TA award as well. So I think this is a perfect award for you, Suvik. Congratulations.
Okay, the next award is the John Holloway Memorial Scholarship, and this is at the graduate level. This scholarship is awarded to an outstanding graduate student carrying out research in the area of environmental or geochemistry. And this year's award winner is Tanner Barnes, and the award will be presented by Professor Everett Schock.
So it's a great pleasure to introduce you to Tanner, if you don't already know him. Tanner tries to understand what is going on with the microbial communities that live in hot springs in Yellowstone National Park. And he's combining, to get there, he's combining geochemistry and biochemistry in ways that haven't been tried before. This is a hallmark of what Tanner does, which is innovating like crazy. This has been recognized by NASA with the finest grant that just started in December. These are NASA's graduate student grants, and it's a very competitive process to win one of these awards. It's fairly rare in the School of Molecular Sciences. So Tanner is known for his innovation in my research group, for his ability to improvise in the field. So there you are. You're trying to combine biochemistry and geochemistry at a hot spring on top of an active volcano in the rain, and some of the equipment is breaking. Hey, but as usual, Tanner triumphs over all of this, and he's infused all sorts of other innovation into our computational modeling. And so it's really been a fabulous start to a graduate career. Congratulations, Tanner.
Okay. Our next award is the Glonzinger Innovation Award. This award recognizes a graduate student or student team for excellence in achieving the SMS mission of discovering molecular level solutions to real-world challenges through the pursuit of methodology or development of research ideas or invention. The recipient of this award will also receive an engraved plaque to further recognize their achievements in receiving this award. And this year's award will go to Charlotte Barker, to be presented by Professor Tim Long.
Charlotte, find your way to the middle there. Yeah. Hey, let me start out first by thanking the Glossinger family who's actually here. I think Bill and Lorna are here. Maybe give them a round of applause for their support. Yeah. 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 And also Charlotte's family is here with their local, and they're here too to celebrate. So it's great to have the parents here. I first met Charlotte during COVID. So some good things do come out of COVID, believe it or not. Like we met each other wearing masks, Southside Biodesign C, and it was interesting. Our commonality was the Habitat for Humanity, right? That's what drove us together, was an understanding of how to 3D print homes in the Tempe area, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about Charlotte's innovative, kind of spirit. She got her undergraduate degree in biochemistry with a 4.0. She went on now to get her PhD. She's in her 4th year. She has 10 more years to go after this. I always tell the students, if you're a really good student, you stay with me for a long time. Of course, the corollary is if you're not, oh, never mind, we don't want to go through that. But she's getting her PhD in macromolecular science and engineering, right? And we know nature gives proteins, carbohydrates, DNA. So there's a lot of commonality, but it's different languages. And Charlotte does not shy away from speaking different languages. She's very comfortable with that. Let me tell you a couple of awards she achieved just to find her way here today. She got the ACS Award in Graduate Excellence that was just bestowed to her in San Diego at the ACS meeting just weeks ago. She also won the SMS Graduate Research Award, the Peebles Adhesion Society Award, the ASU Sun Award, and an SMS Distinguished Teaching Award. Charlotte is she's comfortable winning these awards because she's excellent. She's truly excellent. And when you become an innovator, it takes skills that Charlotte has. What are they? Speak different languages, be resilient, be persistent, do what it takes to innovate, understand intellectual properties. Something needs to be new, it needs to be useful, it has to be unobvious. And you have to embrace that entire molecules to manufacturing approach. That's Charlotte Barker, right? That's what she does. When I think about her latest achievements, I'll only take 20 more minutes, Ryan. She's written 4 invention disclosures, which move on to patents in the last 6 months. 2 of them funded by Intel on polyester adhesives and also 3D printing of polyesters, completely circular, recyclable types of chemistries. And then very recently, together with Ryan Trovich's group and many great students in his group, like looking at new catalysis for polyolefins and then actually taking the polymer that we recycle only 9% of the time, and there's probably 1 trillion pounds of it on the earth every year, make it recyclable. And she's recently filed a provisional patent in that space. She's making a difference. And I would expect in the future, she will continue to make big differences. So here's to you, Charlotte. Congratulations.
I guess at this point, I would maybe like to ask if Bill and Lorna, if you might want to say a few words, or we'll continue. Okay. Okay. So the next award I have here is the John Kakayonikis or Coco Award. And this is given to an outstanding graduate student carrying out research in the area of analytical chemistry. And this year's award will go to Sanal Leonage, and this is going to be presented by Jia Guo.
Yeah, this is Sanal. Congratulations. So Sanal joined our group about 4 years ago, also during the COVID time. So during that time, so since the students can have limited access to the lab, etc., so I decide like we want to take a less risky project for him. So I asked him like, what's your background? He said, molecular biology. I said, okay, then let's do some chemical biology projects. It's less risky, but on the other side is the reverse. So she's taking some new courses, learning new things. And so he asked me like, then what's our project? I said like some companies, like they are trying to stain RNA molecules in the patient biopsies, but they have a lot of difficulties. So basically for mammals like us, so almost all the RNA molecules in our body have alternative splicing. So far in the hospitals, all the RNA imaging technologies, they are imaging the whole RNA molecules. So they cannot differentiate different RNA isoforms. So I asked Sanal, like, do you want to take the challenge? So to really help different patients in the hospital settings, so we can stain, then we can first time visualize, differentiate individual different RNA isoforms for different diseases. He is taking that challenge and he develops very innovative approaches, learn different things from the chemistry, biology, engineering, and also data analysis, computer science perspective. So he's really fantastic, and he overcome many challenging problems, and he will publish several papers on that and file the patents, and hopefully later, very soon, so the patients will benefit, and other researchers, if they want to study what's the RNA expression heterogeneity in terms of RNA isoforms, then the Sanal's technology will open a new door for them to study new biologies. So Sanal, you really deserve this. Congratulations.
Okay. Our next scholarship or award is the Paul Liddell Scholarship. This scholarship is established in honor of School of Molecular Sciences Associate Research Professional Paul Liddell and his life, accomplishments, and scientific contributions. This scholarship is awarded to graduate students, postdocs, and visiting students researching chemistry that was central to Paul's contributions in synthetic chemistry. The design and synthesis of compounds that explore functions found in nature, and compounds that explore new functions that are the provenance of human imagination. And so this year's awards are going to go to Lillian Hensley and Brian Ugaz. And I will ask Professor Gary Moore to come to the stage and tell us a bit about it.
Thank you. I know that the School of Molecular Sciences is thankful to the Liddell family for their contribution that makes this award possible. And Paul was a friend of mine, and he taught me things. I learned a lot from Paul, both in chemistry and about life. And although Paul was humble and not outspoken, he was revered as a synthetic powerhouse in the number of molecules that he made. They've had not only useful for scientific inquiry, but just beautiful to look at structurally. They were like artwork. And Paul was meticulous. He kept good notes on everything. One time, I can tell you a story to give you a sense of Paul. We were on a project together, and we had to find a compound that Paul had made years and years ago. We wanted to compare its magnetic properties to something we were studying. And he knew right where it was, all the way at the top shelf. And Paul went to reach for it and he slipped and grabbed that shelf and the shelf shook and dust flew up in it. And when the dust settled, I looked at Paul. I said, Paul, could you imagine if that shelf would have broke? We would have been buried alive in those porphyrins and phthalocyanine molecules you made over the land. And without missing a beat, Paul stared at me and he said, I couldn't think of a better way to go. Paul was dedicated to chemistry. But these awardees that we have follow their research in the spirit of Paul Liddell and pursuing research that were of interest to Paul. Lillian Hensley, one of our awardees who's here today, her research efforts study molecules that are tetrapyrrolic pigments. This is a class of compounds that give red color of blood, the green color of glass. She's working at these, not only in synthesizing these compounds, but improving understandings of how encapsulating them in polymers can be used to control their properties as coatings on electrode surfaces. And in particular, this is not only of interest academically, but is use-inspired research and bio-inspired research. And these polymers serve a role akin to proteins that catalyze reactions in biology. And the materials she's producing have potential applications in clean fuel production, as well as a range of commodity chemicals. So it's a real pleasure for me to have Lillian here and to receive this award. Congratulations, Lillian, you really deserve this. We have a second awardee for the inaugural year of the Paul Liddell Award, and that's Brian Ugaz. And Brian Ugaz was a former Sun Devil. He did his undergraduate work, returned to ASU for his PhD work, where he works closely under the supervision of Professor Jeremy Mills and Professor Nicholas Stephanopoulos. And his research is in the area of studying fluorescent molecules. In particular, they're making non-natural amino acids. These are amino acids that don't occur naturally in biology, and they're controlling the optical properties of these materials through solvation effects, things like this. And these are, again, not only of interest academically, but serve potential applications in vivo sensing, molecular imaging, biochemistry. And it's really in connection with the things that Paul was doing. Their research is pushing the frontiers of using synthetic chemistry to better understand photochemistry. So it was a real pleasure to have these two students as the inaugural awardees of the Paul Liddell Memorial Award. I thank you all for your attention, and congratulations again to both Lillian and Brian, and I look forward to all they will achieve at ASU and beyond. Thank you.
Okay, so at this point in this portion of the session, what we'll do is we'll name a few outstanding graduate research assistant awards. And so the first awardee this year is Joshua Evans. And I don't know if Joshua is here. I have in my notes that he may not be. So if he is not, we'll move to the next awardee. Our second awardee is Rong Zhang, presented by Hao Yan.
So good, so proud. Never been this proud before. Let's make SM great again. Ron is a fourth-year graduate student and co-supervised by me and Nick Stephanopoulos. She has demonstrated wonderful creativity and a technical strength in combination with her dedication to combining the fundamental molecular design and engineering principles to translational research. So she played critical role in the Progen Tech platform in my lab and also the Nano SimBody project in Nick's lab. Published under revision 2 papers and also was listed as a co-inventor on 4 patents. So she is a model student, and I hope I can have more of Ron in the lab. And she, more importantly, she participated in writing NIH proposals for the lab, played a critical role in 1R01. We received the 9th percentile, was awarded last year, but this year, another R21, the same 9th percentile, but we don't know whether we're gonna get it this year. Hopefully it will be in the right direction. With that, I think it's highly timely and a highly deserved award, and congratulations, Ron. Thank you.
Can go this way. Yeah. Okay, so the next Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award is going to be given to Meghana Shivananda Murthy, and this will be presented by Professor Judith Klein Sitharaman.
Hi. It's my great pleasure to present the Outstanding Graduate Research Student Award to Meghana, who had the bravery of moving here with me from Colorado School of Mines. She was in the first cohort of a graduate program in quantitative bioscience and engineering that I created at Mines. And so she was already very brave then, and my first guinea pig in student education then. And she did so extremely well that I begged her to come with me to ASU. And so here she has worked on corals, which was a departure, again, a proof of her bravery, because before she became a graduate student, she had already done research on aberrant insulin signaling in humans. And so she's actually an expert in metabolism already in humans, and was brave enough to translate that skill to a completely different project, which is on trying to save coral reefs. And our hypothesis is that maybe aberrant insulin signaling plays a role there as well. So I did want to list, I brought my phone because she has such a long list of previous awards. I heard that other people have read them. So yeah, she already won the Graduate Excellent Award, 2 Spirit LGBTQ Leadership Awards from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the Outstanding Teaching Assistant Award for this year and last year, I think. And she has won a variety of travel awards, most recently to the Gordon Research Conference that was again on human metabolism, but she presented her coral work, and sure enough, they elected her the president of the Gordon Research Student Association. So she's a star student. Oh yeah, by the way, and she also got the Biodesign Travel Award for that conference as well. So thank you so much.
Okay, so our next Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award goes to Manashi Sonowal, and this will be presented by Professor Petra Fromm.
It's my greatest pleasure to present this award to Manashi Sonowal. She joined my group also as a COVID student in 2021. But she not only joined as a COVID student, she took on a COVID project where we just got funding from NSF to study a protein which hides the virus from the immune system. And thereby is at the core why COVID became a pandemic. And this protein called NANDU NSP15 is a tricky business because it is a hexamer. And we wanted to not solve a structure in frozen conditions. We want to see the dynamics of the molecule. So we applied first for beam time at LCLS, where she also participated. And then a new opportunity came up to do actually room temperature time reserved or room temperature experiments at the new beam line at ESRF in Grenoble. And so she was one of the first students going to this beam time. And this is a big effort for students from India because you have to go all the way to California, get a visa for France and then travel. And she was one of the first ones. We were one of the first users of these beam time, which can do room temperature serial crystallography at a synchrotron. And then she collected not only data in the wild type, she also made a huge discovery that actually this protein is one of the lineage defining mutants from the Omicron variant. You remember there was all these different variants coming up and Omicron was much more infective. That's actually when I got first time COVID, when I went to a conference and then everybody at the conference afterwards get essentially COVID from this Omicron variant. And she found out that this variant is actually more thermostable and it's hyperactive, which also made it super, super difficult because it is an RNA, double-stranded RNA cleaving enzyme. So it cleaves its own messenger RNA. And so while we get only really small amounts, like 3-4 milligram of the wild type, this mutant, we get often less than a milligram of essentially a PrEP. So it was a total pain in the neck to make large amounts of this protein for the serial crystallography where you hit each crystal only once. But she was able to get this mutant crystallized and made billions of these crystals on site in France for this beam time. And the paper on this big discovery is actually in press in Protein Science with her as a first author. And it was one of the best papers ever written because we had only minor comments and we submitted the comments more or less a week after we got the first review round and is now accepted in Protein Science. And so I'm really happy. And this work was so astonishing because everybody, it's a hexamer, identical subunits, everybody assumed that it has a 6-fold symmetry. So all the structures, cryo-EM structures, X-ray structures, applied the symmetry and obviously then don't find any asymmetry. So Manshi said, what about we evaluated as a hexamer in the asymmetric unit? And then she found huge differences. So each of the 6 hexamer is different. And this explains how it binds DNA only in one of the 6 groups. So that's really, really exciting. And it's all her discovery. Soon you can read it in Protein Science. And I'm so happy to give you this outstanding graduate student award. Thank you.
Okay, so that will conclude our graduate awards. At this point in time, what I'll do is I'll call to the podium our Interim Associate Director of Operations, Ziva Lakoff, who will present the Staff and Administration Award.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm here to present the Barbara Monk Outstanding Service Award, which is awarded on an annual basis to an SMS staff, supervisor, or administration member in recognition of their commitment and work ethic to SMS, while honoring the legacy of clinical assistant professor and associate director of operations, Dr. Barbara Monk. Barb was an integral member, colleague, mentor, leader, friend to SMS. Her institutional knowledge, can-do attitude, ability to lead courageously, and commitment to student success in the sciences paved the way for SMS staff to continue to excel in the work we do to keep our school moving forward while supporting student success. So before I announce the recipient, I would like to take a moment to recognize the staff nominees of the Barbara Monk Outstanding Service Award. If you were nominated, I would appreciate if you could please stand up as I call your name to be recognized. Ruby Arjona. Grant Baumgardner. I'm not sure if he's here today. I don't think he's here. Marianne Bucciarelli. Jeff Burnett. Edgar Escalante, Teresa Shin, Lacey Tomasoni, and Emily Williams. We want to thank you all for all you do to support SMS. I am pleased to announce this year's recipient of the Barbara Monk Outstanding Service Award to Marianne Bucciarelli. And her award will be presented by Sarah Navaz and Victoria Rubio.
No. Victoria and I were honored to nominate Marianne Bucciarelli for the Barbara Monk Outstanding Service Award and could not be happier to be here to present her with the award today. What would we do without Marianne is a question we can often ask playfully, but I know it's a question that none of us really want to know the answer to. Her years of professional experience and committed selfless service to the School of Molecular Sciences can only be overshadowed by the kindness and patience she has for students, staff, and faculty each and every day.
Marianne has proudly served students, faculty, and staff in the School of Molecular Sciences for over 10 years. As a student support coordinator, Marianne plays a vital role in making sure the daily operations of the advising office run smoothly. Marianne is often the first point of contact for students with our office, even before they meet with an advisor, such as us. And she has consistently done a great job of making sure students feel welcomed, understood, and supported. I can confidently say that Marianne has made a positive impact on the department, and the School of Molecular Sciences would not be the same without her.
Marianne is an exemplary staff member who is more than deserving of this recognition. Thank you and congratulations to our colleague and friend, Marianne Bucciarelli.
I would like to call Associate Director of Undergraduate Programs, Dr. Chad Borges, to the stage to present the undergraduate scholarship and awards. Thank you.
Afternoon, everyone. So we are going to start the undergraduate section of this award ceremony with the scholarship awards. And the first of those scholarships is the George M. Bateman Memorial Scholarship. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Bateman was the first faculty member with a doctoral degree at Arizona State Teachers College. He was instrumental in the development of multiple physical science departments here. The Bateman Physical Sciences Building, many of you may recognize that name, is named after him. The George M. Bateman Memorial Scholarship is awarded annually to an excellent Arizona resident student in their first year in college studying chemistry, biochemistry, or biophysics. And this year's winner is Maya Watkins and will be presented by Professor Yohan Simon.
Thank you. I had to get a head start. And I have to congratulate Chad on pronouncing my name properly. We exchanged emails on how to pronounce my name. So when you know, when you have someone who is a true talent. So Maya contacted me early in January. She's a freshman. She is, I don't know, I haven't had the time to ask her if she has got many awards, but I can tell you for sure this is not the first award that she's going to get. So she's part of the Honors College. She has already had a tremendous impact in the group. When you are working every day in organic chemistry and you have someone coming as a freshman asking to join your group, you're a little tentative because usually they have not had any organic chemistry. But I've been really impressed with Maya and her dedication and the amount of work that she's put in. She's truly terrific, and I congratulate you.
Our next scholarship is the Barbara Monk Memorial Scholarship. The Barbara Monk Memorial Scholarship was established in honor of ASU professor Barbara Monk to create a permanent legacy of her teaching and administrative contributions within the School of Molecular Sciences. This scholarship is awarded to outstanding first-generation undergraduate students who have a desire to further science education and those seeking to enhance the presence of women in the field of chemistry and biochemistry. This year's winner is Nayla Williams. She is attending online, I am told, so congratulations, Nayla. Dr. Monk, Stephen Monk, Barb's husband, was unavailable to be here to read a few words, so I would like to read a statement on his behalf. These are Steve's words. Barbara Monk was a dedicated science educator, serving as a clinical assistant professor of chemistry and associate director of operations within the School of Molecular Sciences here at ASU. Her career path was not obvious early in her life. Her mother did not attend college, and her father earned his bachelor's degree after enlisting in the Marines and going to college after that, graduating with 4 small children in tow. Barbara was a committed scientist and science educator. Her aunt, a Franciscan sister, was a high school chemistry teacher and instilled a love of science and teaching in Barbara. As a scientist with a bachelor's degree in chemistry from ASU, paid for with loans from work study, she patented and developed very successful consumer products, Fresh Step kitty litter. Sorry, I had to insert that because everyone's heard of that. And worked to get FDA approvals for various prescription medicines. She earned her PhD in middle age, and her greatest professional joy and accomplishment came from sharing her love of chemistry with undergraduate students within ASU School of Molecular Sciences and her efforts with the Migratory Student Summer Program. Her legacy was to help people with a vision for a career in science and a clear need for support to ensure success. Today's winner, Nayla Williams, is an outstanding choice to honor Barbara's legacy. I believe she would be proud, Nayla. Congratulations. Third scholarship is the Martin Hudson Scholarship for Carbon Capture and Sustainable Energy. This scholarship was set up by ASU graduate Martin Hudson to support young scientists with an interest in working in the area of sustainable energy and carbon capture, as evidenced mainly by their research activities thus far in their careers. Mr. Hudson created this scholarship to ensure that creative junior and senior students who have an interest in the sustainability of our planet have the resources to participate in undergraduate research in carbon capture and sustainable energy production. This year's winner, unfortunately, could not be here, but her name is Catherine Lapari. So congratulations, Catherine. Our next scholarship is the Thorold Muller Scholarship. Emeritus Professor Thorold Muller was a past chair of the former chemistry department. He was instrumental in advancing inorganic chemistry as a discipline at the national level. The Thorold Muller Scholarship was established in honor of Professor Muller to support a student in the School of Molecular Sciences. This year's winner is Abigail Miller and will be presented by Professor Marcia Levitas.
So it's an honor to give this award to Abby. She's in my Chem 118 Chemistry for Measures class. She is smiling, I don't know why. Well, she got good grades so far. She's also in the Honors College. She is an outstanding student. I think she's trying to find herself a little bit, but I know that she's going to do great things. I asked her what she was interested and how she got to choose chemistry as a major. She told me that she wanted to be an astronaut. But then she was a little terrified of, being stranded in space or not finding her way home, things like that. I would be too. And then she realized that she was actually interested in terms of understanding how planets, what they were made of. And then she connected the dots and realized that that was actually chemistry. So she became a chemistry major. She is very interested in doing research, so take notes of her name. And she's interested in anything that is related to the environment. I think she's very open-minded as long as it's something connected to sustainability or something that helps protect the environment. She is involved in many different things. She keeps active. She likes watching NHL games. She writes. She promised me she was going to show me her trilogy. She's working on. Oh, she's in the middle. Okay, whenever she finishes, she's going to share. She's a very well-rounded student, and it's a pleasure to have her in my class and present you with this award, Abby.
Our next scholarship is the Wayne W. Lushinger Chemistry Scholarship. Emeritus Professor Wayne W. Lushinger established this scholarship to support an undergraduate student majoring in chemistry or biochemistry in the School of Molecular Sciences. The GI Bill provided Dr. Lushinger with support to go to college, and this support is generally given to veterans of one of the U.S. military branches. This year's winner is Fatima Pobleta, attending online. So unfortunately, will not be able to be here, but I would like to congratulate you, Fatima, and thank you very much for your service to our country. Our next scholarship is the John Holloway Undergraduate Scholarship. The John Holloway Undergraduate Scholarship was established in honor of Emeritus Professor John Holloway. Professor Holloway came to ASU as part of an effort to combine the research fields of chemistry and geology, and he ended up becoming a famous experimental petrologist. This scholarship is awarded to a student pursuing a degree in the School of Molecular Sciences, and preference is given to students demonstrating aptitude to make significant contributions in a science or technology career. This year's winner is Jaden Gorham and will be presented by Professor George Wolf.
Well, thank you. It is really an honor to give this award to Jaden Callahan, and I'd like to introduce you to Callahan, actually, Jaden Costello and Callahan Costello. Jaden came to ASU as a President's Scholar in 2022. She's been a Dean's List awardee every semester since. She was in my PChem laboratory class last semester. It was interesting kind of story because she wrote me the first week of classes saying that she had a bit of a challenge perhaps this semester because she was pregnant and her baby was due during the semester and she wasn't quite sure when it was going to be delivered because of some complications. And but throughout the whole semester, she never really asked for any accommodations or anything. She went through almost the entire semester except for the very end, the last couple of weeks, she had her baby delivered. And so she missed that one lab, came in with her baby the following week, unbelievably, and made up the lab, made up the analysis, just absolutely incredible. She has actually been probably, I could say easily, the best student I've ever had in Chem 343. Almost 100% in everything. All of her write-ups, her laboratory write-ups, her quizzes, her notebook. And I think part of it is she as last summer, she's a Helios scholar. She did research at TGen. She did a really fabulous job there working on a rare form of melanoma, that uveal melanoma cancer that attacks the eyes. She presented a paper, oral report on her research at the TGen Symposium, Helios Scholar Symposium. She got first place on that. So just looking at her notebooks for the laboratory, looking at her write-ups, I'd actually like to ask you if I can use those as to show other students that are in my laboratory classes, what a good lab report looks like, and what a good notebook looks like, because they were actually incredible. So congratulations. So pleased to give you this award.
Next award is the next scholarship is the Edward B. Skibo Memorial Scholarship. The Edward B. Skibo Memorial Scholarship was established in honor of ASU chemistry professor Edward B. Skibo to create a permanent legacy of his research and teaching contributions to medicinal and organic chemistry. It is awarded annually to an outstanding undergraduate student with an interest in a career in organic or medicinal chemistry. This year's winner is Michael Abruzzo and will be presented by Professor Ashley Morgan.
Hi, everyone. As a teaching professor, I interact with a lot of students, and it is a privilege to have them all in class, but there are just a few that really make a resounding, lasting impression that I just know I'm going to remember them for many semesters and years to come. And Mike is definitely one of these students. What really strikes me about him, he's in my Biochem 461 class this semester. What really stood out to me, some of the first interactions that we had, was just his curiosity. It's very rare to come across students who love the material and have such a mind for the material that they can take what you tell them and go beyond. And I will admit, he often stumps me. All right, so he just has such a great mind for this material. And when I heard that he won this award, I couldn't think of a better recipient for this scholarship. He is already living what he wants to do. He is interested in not only pursuing medicine, but also research in the medical field and advancing medical technology, has already completed multiple internships, is currently working in a lab at ASU, is an EMT, as well as doing numerous volunteer hours. And he wants to continue that, and this scholarship just gives him the freedom and the opportunity to continue doing research that I know is really going to change the future. So Mike, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I really just can't think of anyone more deserving of this award.
Next, we'll be presenting the Ted Brown Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was established in honor of Emeritus Professor Ted Brown. It is awarded to a first-generation undergraduate student. This year's winner is Jordan Begay and will be presented by Professor Justin Early.
All right. I had to write some stuff down because although Jordan is a first-year college student, already has quite an impressive resume, and I would forget it all if I didn't. All right. It is my honor to present the Ted Brown Memorial Chemistry Scholarship to Jordan Begay. This award celebrates the legacy of Professor Ted Brown, a longtime faculty member of ASU, who is dedicated to advancing our understanding of transition metal chemistry and supporting the success of students. It is awarded each year to a first-generation undergraduate student, as Chad had stated, who demonstrates great potential in the field of chemistry. Jordan is exactly the kind of student the scholarship was meant to support. A first-year undergraduate majoring in chemistry, biochemistry, and a minor in biological sciences, Jordan has already built a truly impressive resume. Jordan's a 3-time International Science and Engineering Fair finalist in high school. Sorry, this is doing weird things to me. With projects ranging from bioinformatics-based DNA sequencing to artificial synthesis of aromatic amino acids using optical spectroscopy. Even now, just 1 year into college, he's preparing to present research on phosphate absorption and deabsorption dynamics at the American Indian Science and Engineering Society South Regional Conference later this month. Bet you didn't know I knew that. Great. Jordan's passion for research drive and explore big scientific questions and how a long-term goal of becoming a physician all reflects the value of this award. I have no doubt Jordan will continue to make meaningful impact both in science and medicine. Congratulations, Jordan. There we go. So we'll now be presenting the School of Molecular Sciences scholarships. These scholarships support outstanding students completing degrees in chemistry or biochemistry within the School of Molecular Sciences. And there are 5 winners in total this year. Our first winner is Diamond Avila and will be presented by Professor Matthias Hayden.
Yeah, it's a great honor to present this award to Diamond, who is a student in my class BCH 341, physical chemistry with a biological focus. It's a very challenging class, which some students love and some students hate. I hope Diamond likes it because she's doing extremely well. Diamond is already a recipient of a Doran Scholarship for first generation college students. She's doing exceptionally well, and I see it in my class. She's also tackling the most challenging problems that are kind of they're taking everything beyond what is taught in the class, and you have to use mathematical reasoning on a level that is usually not even expected. She does all of these exercises extremely well, and I'm very, very honored to present this award, and I'm pretty sure it will not be her last.
Our second School of Molecular Sciences scholarship winner is Asher Carlson, and it will be presented by Professor Marcia Levitas.
So I'm always honored to present awards to my students. Asher is a little special because he took my class like 3 years ago or more. So the fact that he thought of me for this is particularly, I'm very honored to really be chosen for this, Asher. Asher took my Chem 117 and 18 class 3 years ago-ish, a while ago. He's almost graduating now as a biochemistry major. We kept in touch. It's always a delight to talk to Asher. He comes to my office, we talk. I've seen him grow so much that it's really amazing. He comes from a small city close to Minneapolis. I was going to mess up and I read it. Good. He wants to do an MD, PhD, and he got a very competitive fellowship in Titian for the summer, which is amazing. He's going to be working on biochemistry of cancer in Titian, so that will be absolutely fantastic for his goals. I asked him a little bit about his hobbies and interests, and they are, it's amazing how many things he does. He is into martial arts, and he got his first black belt at the age of 12. And it looks like he's going, I don't know how that works, but he got his third, which seems like how many, it's like the very black belt, I guess. But then he reminded me that we actually met when he came to ask me for an accommodation for an exam to go and compete. And I said, you know, that's not an ASU accommodation, but it sounds so impressive that I don't know how I can say no to that. So he went and did it. He is also involved in a bioethics, health, and society club where he works on bioethics. He is a TA in the anatomy and physiology lab where he works with cadavers, which I think is, again, he wants to be a doctor. I think is what needs to be done. He volunteers on the way more serious note. He volunteers with kids that are hospice kids. And this is something that I honestly cannot think of anything tougher in life to do than work with kids that need that care. So I think that's absolutely amazing. He's interested in all kinds of sports, archery, weight training. So you really have a very bright future ahead. I am super honored, Asher, to give you this award.
Our third SMS scholarship goes to Jay Siobhan, and this award will be presented by Professor Ryan Trowbridge.
All right, so I was sort of fortunate to have Jay join my lab last fall. He had to beg me a bit, but we got him in. Jay, we like to call him SMS's first TSMC fellow, but he's worked on a lot of different projects since he's joined my lab. He's also one of the busiest people I know. Somehow he manages to work in my lab and Professor Mazur's lab while working for the School of Molecular Sciences Media Relations team. And he also has time to study child development with the Department of Psychology. So I'm not sure how you do all that and learn organometallic chemistry as a sophomore, but apparently it's possible. Another impressive thing about Jay, and I'm not sure how many of you know this, but at the ACS national meeting a few weeks ago, Jay was on a team that won first place in the entire country in the 2025 ACS Chem Biz competition, where he pitched an idea that had nothing to do with what he does in my lab. So pretty impressive. So in managing all of this, I would say that Jay is certainly deserving of this scholarship. Congrats.
Fourth SMS scholarship awardee is Kendall Neef, and it will be presented again by Professor Marcia Levitas.
Okay, so Kendall is in my Chem 118 class this year. She's a biochem student. She's doing really well. She is from Portland. She came to ASU to pursue a degree in biochemistry. When I asked her what drew her to biochemistry, she mentioned she was lucky to have a really good experience in a biology class in high school where the teacher got her interested in the molecular aspects of biology, and that's why she chose biochemistry. She is interested in doing research, and one of the things she's interested is in biomechanics, and she's also interested in health policy. And at ASU, she's involved in the Student Association of the ACS, the SACS, and also in a social justice group. So I think she's going to explore research opportunities, which could be more science-oriented, or it could be more policy-oriented. Either way, I know that you're going to do great. Congratulations, Kendall.
And last but not least is our final SMS scholarship winner, Jose Zarita. Unfortunately, he is not able to be here. So congratulations, Jose. Our next scholarships are the SMS Women in Molecular Science scholarships. We have two of them to present this year. This scholarship is awarded to outstanding students who express an interest in helping increase the success and representation of women in all areas of chemistry and biochemistry. So our two winners, both of whom could not attend today, unfortunately, are Anisa Gallegos and Hyun Kim. Congratulations to both of you. All right, our next scholarship is the SMS First Generation Scholarship. This is a scholarship that supports outstanding first-generation undergraduate students who are completing degrees in chemistry or biochemistry in the School of Molecular Sciences. This year's winner is Pia Jackson, and Professor Stephanopoulos had hoped to be able to be here today, was not able to be here. So in place of him presenting the award, I will present the award and provide a few words in his stead. So coming up, Pia. So these are Professor Stephanopoulos' words. I met Pia in my Chem 233 first semester organic chemistry course. Even in a class of 450 students, she immediately stood out. Not only because she was the only student actually older than me and still insisted on calling me professor after the class was over, even when I assured her that Nick was just fine, but because she is one of those students who makes it an absolute joy to be a professor. She came to most of my office hours and asked deeply probing questions, always attended lecture, sitting in the front row and being engaged in the material. Professors love that. And routinely raised her hand to offer answers to my in-class questions, or coming to see me after lecture for clarification on a certain point. It was clear that she was studying hard, really striving to understand the material and taking her success in the course very seriously. She was also an unfailingly polite and pleasant student to interact with. No small feat in a course where the students are often stressed, and she was such a joy to teach. Pia also has a unique life story in that she returned for an undergraduate degree later in life. I could see the clear difference in her maturity and study habits compared with students that were less than half her age. She was organized, clear-headed about the work required, and highly diligent. She also seemed to support and mentor her classmates and gave off a humble and level-headed air that was rare in a class full of young, stressed out pre-med students. Pia has also kept in touch since the course, and I, Nick, see her occasionally on campus. Her cheerful, "Hi, professor," always brightens my day. She is exactly the kind of student that makes ASU come alive, and the fact that she is a first-generation student makes her accomplishments all the more remarkable. It's been a joy to have Pia in the class, and I'm excited to see where she goes on the next step of her journey. Congratulations, Pia. Not sure if I'm supposed to take a photo. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Okay. Our next scholarship is the Arizona Society for Coatings Technology Scholarship. The Arizona Society for Coatings Technology is comprised of representatives from the paint and coatings industry. This scholarship supports students with the potential to make a positive impact on these industries in Arizona. In addition to the monetary award, the recipient will be granted student membership in the Arizona Society for Coatings Technology for the award year. And this year's winner is Madeline Linden and will be presented by Professor Justin Early.
All right. I want to take the time to thank Steve Johnson and his colleagues. This is one of the largest individual student scholarships we give at SMS and has been recurring for some years from my understanding, as I'm a new faculty, so I'm just learning about it myself. So just quick, a round of applause for Steve and his colleagues. All right. Well, I made the joke to some other students that I'd be like, this is Madeline, won an award, let's walk away. That'd be usually what the kind of humor we'd find in my group. Madeline is a junior, double majoring in math and chemistry. She joined my group last semester. We are building things out, so we're just getting going, and she's really been fundamental to growing my group here at ASU. Madeline's looking at carbon nanotube color centers as potential qubit candidates. And what she's doing is varying the polymer and surfactant wrapping to look at how dielectric coupling changes the stability of these quantum states we want to use. Madeline blurs the line between undergraduate and graduate students. She keeps me on my toes. For example, I gave Madeline the task of learning Python, and I thought this would be something we would do slowly over time in a couple office hours. And actually, by the second week of Madeline working on Python, she had come to me with already a base knowledge of Python and implementing it to simulate lock-in detection. So for me as a PI, then I scrambled and tried to think of the next thing we could do. And so, Madeline, I just want you to know that you're incredibly deserving of this, and I am excited to see where you go from here. Thank you.
So before we conclude this particular scholarship, I'd like to invite Steve Johnson up to say a few words as a donor representative.
Thank you on behalf of the Arizona Society. Thrilled to be here. Just a brief background, we're a nonprofit that for the paint and coating industry located in Arizona. We partner with 3 other societies, LA, Golden Gate in the Bay Area, and Pacific Northwest basins that cover Seattle and Vancouver. And every 2 years, we sponsor a technical symposium in Las Vegas. And the next one's coming up this October, on which I'm also on that planning committee. And we've been very fortunate. It's one of the premier programs in the country. And we've been very fortunate because every 2 years we clear a good profit and split it 4 ways. And we've used some of those funds to help fund this program. And we're glad to do it because it's the students, you're our future, not just in paint and coatings, but in the country as well. So we're just thrilled to be able to do this. And congratulations to Madeline for this year. We just met as we sat down, but I'm hoping she does well. And I encouraged her to join us this fall in Vegas if she can fit it into her schedule, because 6 years ago, the 2019 ASU scholarship recipient, Christina Tope, actually won the poster challenge in Las Vegas. So we're encouraging all of our ASU students to join us if they can. So anyways, congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. So our final scholarship that we are going to present today is the SMS Veteran Scholarship. This is a scholarship which supports outstanding military veterans or children of military veterans who are pursuing undergraduate degrees in chemistry or biochemistry in the School of Molecular Sciences. And this year's winner is Marvin Flores Espinoza, and the scholarship will be presented by Professor Marcia Levitas.
So I'm not as well prepared because Marvin approached me just minutes ago. I think I'm his plan F, but that's okay. Kidding. It's an honor. Marvin took my Chem 118 class last year, and he was always in office hours, very engaged, very pleasant. He is a veteran, and I wish I had something to say about your service, but I didn't have time to prepare. He is doing research with Yuval, and he couldn't be here today, but I know that he's doing great. He was also a member of the team that was just mentioned a while ago. The 4 of our students got together and went to the ACS meeting and pitched an idea, and it was a competition, and ASU got number 1. They won this award, and he's also a member of the team. So it's really an honor, and congratulations, Marvin.
We're now going to move to the awards portion of the undergraduate ceremony. And we're going to start off with the undergraduate awards given by the American Chemical Society. So once chosen by the Undergraduate Programs and Awards Committee, SMS submits the names of the winners to the American Chemical Society. These are students who have demonstrated excellence and achievements in the areas of inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, and biological chemistry. Formally speaking, at present, our winners are still nominees, but once confirmed by ACS, they will send these students a formal personalized award officially recognizing them as the ASU recipient of this award for a particular subdiscipline of chemistry. So we're going to start with the ACS Division of Inorganic Chemistry Undergraduate Award, which recognizes excellence exhibited by inorganic chemistry students. And this year's winner is Rohan Balusu and will be presented by Professor Jason Cowrie.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Corey. I'm a new solid state chemistry assistant professor here in SMS. And I guess I'm really excited to present this award to Rohan for ACS Inorganic Chemistry for excellence as an undergraduate. But I think to describe what I think of Rohan, it'd be better just to tell you the story of how I met him. When I was in my second semester here, early 2024, I heard a story from one of my graduate students about how there was an undergrad coming around the lab, which at the time was barely set up and we hadn't done any experiments yet, looking to talk to anyone about being interested in doing work with us. Rohan had found my website and was interested in doing research with us. And then when he met with me, he was saying how he was excited to do research on metal-metal bonding because we're a solid-state chemistry group that specializes in intermetallic materials, and that his extensive background in physics and quantum mechanics would be helpful for that. And for me, I was like, oh, okay, like maybe he took AP physics or something, but Rohan goes far and beyond everyone's expectations. He had to get special permission to take a quantum mechanics course, an advanced one, while he was taking general chemistry for majors, which I think at the time Marcia might have been teaching. But Rohan also is majoring in math, along with majoring in biochemistry and majoring in many other things, because he's great. And his description of certain proof-based math courses reminded me that I was happy I got out after linear algebra. But anyway, Rohan is making different new solid-state quantum materials in our group, and he's been doing great. He likes to learn. He likes to ask questions. He's self-critical. He evaluates different things. He doesn't get discouraged by failure. And I definitely think very highly of him. And I'm excited to see what he does next. If he chooses to go to graduate school, I think whoever does take him would get a really amazing researcher. But I'm overjoyed to present this award, and thank you so much. And congrats, Rohan.
Our next ACS awardee is for the Division of Organic Chemistry. This award is given to a student in organic chemistry who has demonstrated outstanding skills and great promise for future achievements. Our winner this year is Declan Capasola and will be presented by Professor Tim Long.
Okay, organic chemistry is the study of all carbon-containing compounds. Is there really anything else we have to think about, right? Those are all the important molecules. So my apologies to Jason and other inorganic chemists in the room. I have a similar sentiment as Johan gave. You know, when a student walks into your room, it's the best part of our job. An 18 or 19-year-old student walks into your office and says, hey, I love organic chemistry. I'm a biochemistry major with a 3.95 GPA. Can I come work in your research group? How do I slam the door quick enough and lock it, right? That was the situation with Declan. Declan is, quite amazing. I'll give you a little bit about him. He started out working on the Michael reaction, right? So it's a named reaction. This is an egotistical chemist from the 1860s who decided to name their reaction after themselves. Okay. But the Michael reaction is a beautiful arrow-moving mechanism, nucleophiles and electrophiles galore. And Declan was able to take his knowledge of biochemistry, right? The nucleobases, all four of them, and attach them through the alpha-beta unsaturated ester. Right, so Declan's doing this as a junior in college, right? He's making brand new molecules never made before and, publishing papers and having huge impact. All right, so we like named reactions. A little fun fact about Arthur Michael is he never had a formal degree in chemistry, but yet his legacy lived on, right? And it's this named reaction. But then we exposed Declan to the Sonogashira reaction, the Glaser coupling reaction. These are classic synthetic organic reactions, right, that are used to make alkyne-containing diols that we put into polyurethanes for all kinds of interesting reasons. But it does allow me to tell my favorite chemistry joke, which is what kind of students take organic chemistry? All kinds of students. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let me just give a big congratulations to Declan. He's a superior example of what ASU and SMS is all about. He's stellar. He's going on to medical school. He's going to change the world. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a named reaction after him someday. So let's give it up to Declan. Congratulations.
Next ACS award is the Division of Physical Chemistry Undergraduate Award, which recognizes excellence exhibited by physical chemistry students. This year's winner is Cameron Cheatham and will be presented by Professor Scott Sayers.
So it's my great honor to present Cameron with this award. I'll say that I've met a lot of undergraduate students over my years here at ASU. Many of them want to get involved in research and things like this, and pretty selective on who we allow to join into the group and do a lot of projects. But occasionally a student comes in that's just perfect for the challenging set of experiments that we have set up. And one in particular was really challenging, a project that required a student that was resilient, okay, that was able to overcome things. So Cameron's a transfer student since coming to ASU, has crushed it. Straight A's, killed all his classes, like he's doing really well. Then he showed up to lab and he's got this resilience, this never quit attitude that I respect a lot. Came into lab and turned on the instrument that I set him up for, one project that was really challenging, hit the power button and sparks flew, problem. Went over, finally got that straightened out, went over and turned on the ion gauge, dead, fixed this. Went over and turned on the mechanical pump, dead. I mean, so this means one of two things. One, either I have like great, fantastic equipment, or that Cameron is really bad luck, or the truth is he's resilient. He's overcome challenge after challenge, put a lot of effort and nonstop attitude into this project to the point where he has built a new direction in my research group. We're now doing thermodynamics of gas or of clusters deposited on the surface, and he's already done his first experiments, did a thermodynamic gas desorption experiment, put it on a poster, went and published this, or went and presented this poster in the fall, won an award, poster presentation, and has since been accepted to every graduate school he has applied to. So this award could not go to a better student. Congratulations, Cameron.
Our next ACS award is the Division of Analytical Chemistry Undergraduate Award, which honors students who exhibit exceptional promise for a career in a field related to analytical chemistry. This year's winner is Milap Owens. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He has class or lab, I forget which at this point. And I know this because he works in my laboratory as a volunteer. So Milap, if you end up watching this, it was a pleasure to have you in my analytical chemistry class about 1.5 years ago now. But even more so, I'm privileged to have you as part of my research laboratory doing analytical and bioanalytical research. I'm quite sure that you have a bright future ahead of you. And here's to getting that paper published that we just submitted. So congratulations, Milap. Our next ACS award, our next ACS award is for the Division of Biochemistry and Biological Chemistry, which of course honors students who exhibit exceptional promise for a career in these areas. Our winner this year is Sri Swaminathan and will be presented by Professor Shu Wang.
So as just like the other presenters, I'm really pleased to present this award to Shui. Shui's, I never had Shui in a class because I only teach biochemistry for 2 non-majors. But Shui worked in my lab for 2 years, almost 2 years, and I'm lucky to have her. She's smart, probably the smartest undergrad I had in my lab. And she's dedicated. She's always enthusiastic, which is difficult sometimes in science to remain enthusiastic, but she's always enthusiastic. And I give her a lot of tough projects and she kept working on that. And probably the toughest thing she did was she worked with my grad student, Chandin, and they got protein expression system to work in a mammalian expression system, which is, I've never done in my lab. So you two put in years of effort. So, and all that work, a lot of work is, yeah, I mean, she's a co-author on one of the manuscripts and revision. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have more paper with her name on that. And I'm not the only person who thinks she's great. She did this summer did a internship at NYU where she worked on bacterial efflux pumps and presented a poster at Biophysical Society with a travel award from SMS. And this summer you're going to be working at Merck. So clearly everybody thinks you're wonderful and we expect great things from you in the future. We want to hear you in the news. So if I had more funding, I probably should compensate you. Unfortunately, I don't. So this is the alternative ACS award. Congratulations.
So that concludes our ACS Division Awards. Our next award is the Distinguished Chemistry Merit Award. This is presented to a graduating senior in recognition of an outstanding academic record in a chemistry degree. Our winner this year is Samir Saifi and will be presented by Professor Scott Sayers.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to be able to give this award to Sam. Sam has probably been the student in my lab that has grown the absolute most from the time he joined my lab till now. I've watched him really mature. We started a project, a very ambitious project, to study vanadium oxides and the cool physics that happens or phase change according to temperature. And I was like, oh, we're going to study this. We're going to master it. We're going to become great at this. And it failed. Time after time after time. We had the worst data I've ever seen in my life. It just kept failing. And we tried. Sam came into lab and it would not work for an entire semester, I think. And to the point where I think Sam was in my semester or in my lab for at least 2 years. And this data, we collected over a year and a half ago, and I gave up on it. You know, I'm done with this project. I never want to see it again. And Samir took this data home, and I was like, we had weekly or bi-weekly meetings, and we'd talk about the project and the data. And I had decided in my head immediately this was dead data. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. It goes to the back of my desk, you know, the pile of stuff on every professor's desk. This was at the bottom. But he kept showing up, and he kept showing me this data. And he kept analyzing it, and he did not quit. And then he started showing me that it didn't fail. In fact, actually, we ended up finding a pretty neat result that I overlooked. I'm going to admit it. Sam found it. His relentless attitude pushed this paper forward. He kept showing up and say, I wrote this sentence. You know, what do you think about this? Time after time after time, he would show up to lab with a little bit of progress to the point where he convinced me that we had something amazing. And this paper is now in submission. It's under review. All because he almost single-handedly picked the needle out of the haystack. So, Sam, you've done a great job in the lab. Definitely earned this. Congratulations.
Next award is the Distinguished Biochemistry Merit Award, presented to a graduating senior in recognition of an outstanding academic record in a biochemistry degree. This year's winner is Olivia Holman and will be presented by Professor D. Liu.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm very honored to present this Distinguished Biochemistry Merit Award to Olivia. Olivia is the first undergraduate student to graduate from my lab, and obviously, she has set the bar very high to enter my lab. And as a solo fellow, her research in my lab is to study the structure of left-handed zDNA. I think it is probably the most ignored aspects of the most important biomolecules. And she has made very surprising discovery. Yeah, that's amazing. And she quickly impressed me with her capability of thinking critically and working smartly and independently, and also working well along with her graduate mentor, Sasha, also here. Olivia will be entering the MD PhD program at the University of Arizona this fall. And the good thing is that we can see her very often because that's at Phoenix. And I have no doubt she will make a lasting impact in both medicine and science. Olivia, congratulations again on this well-deserved award. I wish you great success in the exciting journey ahead. Yeah, congratulations.
So next, we're going to move on to the SACS Organic Achievement Award. For those of you that don't know, SACS is an abbreviation, an acronym. It stands for Student Association of the American Chemical Society. This is given to a student in organic chemistry who has demonstrated outstanding skills and great promise for future achievements. Our winner this year is Kirsten Faith Sangalong. Unfortunately, she's not able to attend, but congratulations to Kirsten. Next award is the Future Initiatives Travel Award. The colleges Future initiative is dedicated to equipping students with the skills, experiences, and knowledge needed to thrive in a rapidly changing world. As part of this initiative, the School of Molecular Sciences instituted an annual conference funding resource, allowing students to network, present their research, and represent ASU scientists on a national level. This year's winner, you may have seen her before, Shri Swaminathan, and her award will be presented by Arenda Griffin.
You. Good afternoon, everybody. Shri was a student in my peer mentorship class in fall 2024. It was a small group, a smaller cohort of students interested in gaining professional development skills. And Shri was exemplary in my class. Not only was she exemplary for her assigned mentees of this group of incoming freshmen, but also with other students in the class as well. She often led discussions on topics that we had in class, like ethics in AI in academia, goal setting, conflict resolution. So Shri was exemplary in those areas. And being the outspoken and ambitious student that she is, she brought up during one of our lectures her experience with her REU that she did at NYU. And she asked about the possibility of presenting her research at a conference. And so I thought of the Futures Initiative and how it's focused on creating opportunities for students to gain skills and experiences inside the classroom and outside the classroom. And so as a researcher, presenting your work at a conference and networking with other scientists in your field is absolutely a necessary skill. It's an essential skill for students to have. So Shri was able to attend the Biophysical Society conference in LA in February of this year and present the work that she completed on protein expression and purification while she was an NSF fellow. So help me congratulate Shri on being the first recipient of the Futures Initiative Travel Award.
So now we would like to recognize our Dean's medalists for the entire academic year. So our first winner is someone who has actually already received her award and is not able to attend, but we wanted to recognize her as part of this program because the fall recipient of the Dean's Medal isn't often here because they've graduated. So our fall 2024 Dean's Medalist, and by the way, the Dean's Medal is awarded to outstanding students who have demonstrated a steadfast commitment to academic excellence while at ASU. And the School of Molecular Sciences gets to put forth one nominee per semester to the college for this award out of all of our majors. And so our winner in the fall of 2024 was Laura Berzinas. She's not able to attend. She's an online student, which is no mean feat to earn the Dean's Medal as an online student, but we'd like to congratulate her and recognize her here. Congratulations, Laura. The Dean's Medal winner for the spring of 2025, our winner this year is Vakari Nalole and will be presented by Professor Wade Van Horn.
So it's my pleasure to present this award to Vakari. She's been in my lab for a few years now, 2 years. She was also a student in my biophysical chemistry class. So I've seen her both as a student and as a student researcher, and she is excellent. So I don't think, though, BCH 463 was her favorite class, which is a little disappointing, but nonetheless, she's well deserving of this award. She's a really gifted student, so she has a GPA well above 4.0, which means that she routinely earns grades that are A pluses, right? She's also a really good researcher in my lab, so she's engaged, she's curious, she's dedicated. She's helped set the stage for a new direction in my lab where, you know, we know a lot about how cells talk to each other, how they communicate. She's been trying to set the stage for how communication happens inside of cells. So there's these transient networks between different organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum and mitochondria. And she set the stage making new proteins so we can start to probe this. So that's manipulating DNA, making mutations, figuring out how to express and purify proteins, and not just one protein and not just one mutation. And so she's made real contributions here to the extent where now she can, start to analyze what I think is the world's best spectroscopy, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, these kinds of data, and identify for the first time new interactions that we haven't seen to exist. This kind of intracellular communication has been linked to lots of important things like neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease, metabolic diseases like obesity and type 2 diabetes. And so there's lots of realms in kind of health and medicine that are starting to probe these kinds of communication networks that we don't know. And Bakari's really been leading that effort in my lab. Beyond that, as you can imagine, receiving the Dean's Medal Award, she's just really well-rounded. So beyond being a good student, beyond being a good researcher, she's active in the community. So for example, she works with an organization that helps raise awareness for pancreatic cancer. She's, been recognized to go to a national conference for them. She every week goes to a hospice center for patients with dementia and interacts with them. So she does lots of good things, including, if you can believe it. So she's been in my lab for just over 2 years. She's been helping fellow undergraduates for longer than I've known her, more than 3 years, learn how to write, right? So she's a really engaged student that's really deserving of this award. And it's been a great pleasure to have you in my lab. So congratulations.
Our final undergraduate award is the Royal Society of Chemistry Certificate of Undergraduate Excellence Award. I'll give you a little bit of information about it. This annual award program allows nomination of an outstanding student to receive recognition from the Royal Society of Chemistry alongside a physical prize in the form of a Merck Index book or a voucher for Royal Society of Chemistry affiliate membership. Additionally, awarded students will be invited to attend a live virtual training event on publishing that is hosted by experts from their top journals. Participants will receive a signed certificate of completion to demonstrate their scientific publishing knowledge and support their future academic path. All recipients will receive a digital certificate, a physical certificate, and will be included in the online list of award winners. Nominees must be within the top 5 to 10% of their class in subject, specific, and overall coursework. So our winner this year is Haley Nelson, and her award will be presented by Professor Scott Sayers.
Okay. It is my great pleasure to give Haley Nelson this award. She's very deserving of this award. I'm sorry to say this. Haley is the unicorn of the undergraduate students. So rare, so good that it's hard to find students like this. They don't exist. But Haley has been in my lab for a year and a half and has joined into a project where we're trying to understand how did life begin. We have done some work on this over the summer. She's created some new results. We found a way that we can now see proton transfer and water formation out of certain molecules. And so we're this close to solving how life began, not really, but we're learning about peptide bond formation, how that happens. And Haley's been involved in that. And she has, throughout the time I have known her, been so active in so many different fields. So she is a volunteer. She works at the Arizona Science Center. She's been a volunteer at the NASA Psyche mission. She's also paid by the NASA Psyche mission. She's done the NASA Space Grant, where this helps fund our work to work on how life began, peptide bond formation, things like this. She's the 2024 recipient of the Karen Valentine Communication Award, many other awards, but that one's a particular highlight. And was just given the keynote lecture a couple of months ago at the NASA Space Internship Grant here. So that's a big deal. She's very good at telling people all about the fun things that she's doing in labs. So I will highlight she's graduating and has accepted a graduate program offer here in the School of Earth and Space Sciences. So we didn't get her to come to SMS, but she's not far away. So congratulations, Haley. This award is highly deserving.
That concludes the undergrad awards portion of this ceremony, I'd like to call up at this time our Associate Director of Faculty Development, Dr. Giovanna Garlanda, to present the Faculty and Teaching Awards.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start with introducing the awards for teaching assistants. And so teaching assistants are basically a bridge between faculty and students, and they perform basically fantastic function in helping guiding the students in the lab, explaining how the experiments work, and ensuring lab safety as well. In addition to that, they answer questions, and a lot of times students can be a little shy in asking their professors for questions. But again, the graduate students perform fantastic role in bridging that little gap culturally and also in terms of age. And so with that, what I want to do is call all of them, and as before, invite them to, actually this time we're gonna stay here on stage and we'll do a group picture on the stage. Okay, so the Teaching Student Awards this year are Justin Brewer, then we have Zachary Carlin, Zachary, Logan Chang, and then Iwana Ideuka, congratulations. And then Hannah Nipmeyer, Christopher Lee, not here. And so we have Maggie Madsen, Caitlin Parrott, Stovik Podar, Megana Murthy, Jordan Sinclair, Ella Smith, and Jinji too couldn't come. So let's see if we can please everybody in a little bit. Once again, and thank you for your service. So the next award is the Award for Instructional Service Award. And so this is how we recognize the instructors in SMS who, again, help with the teaching functions of SMS, and they teach the classes, and also they assist in lab operation and organizing our teaching labs. And so the first awardee is going to be Dr. Agoda Debraksani. Congratulations. So Agoda came to ASU in 2013, already with an accomplished teaching background. And then she spent the past 12 years basically working in our department to improve the instruction excellence of the lab. And she has really shown her gift in developing and helping develop further the pedagogical methods that are used in the lab. And her activity has been really appreciated by all of us faculty in, again, for her excellence in making sure that our undergraduate programs are successful. So thanks again. And the next Outstanding Instructor Award is Stacy Sandler, the next recipient. Stacy. And so Stacy also has been a key member of our instructional faculty since 2010. She has been an important contributor and leader in almost every instance of a curricular reform and pedagogical improvement in the general chemistry program for the last 13 years. And she has also provided steady, dependable leadership and mentorship to faculty and staff, basically helping faculty in their mission as well. Over the past year alone, she has revamped our instructional laboratories, improved content delivery and efficiency in recitation. She worked with other faculty to develop novel student success initiatives, author course learning outcomes and objectives, hired and mentored multiple new faculty members and teaching assistants, optimized class schedules, and basically facilitated teaching assignments. So Stacy does an amazing job of balancing this heavy administrative role with outstanding instructor in a variety of modalities. She is comfortable, she is capable, both in traditional instructions and as well as in teaching flipped classroom sections or other learning environment. And her passion for teaching and mentoring are always on display and resulting in multiple colleagues and peers seeking out her guidance on a regular basis. And the materials she has created and the projects she's led are used by a dozen other faculty and teaching assistants. And so she has been nominated for Teaching and Service Awards before, and this is just the last of her accomplishment with the department. Thanks again. And the next is, I'm going to invite Tiana, Tiana Rush, the director of the School of Molecular Sciences, and basically for the last of the awards.
Thank you, Giovanna. So I am honored to present the Distinction of Merit Scholastic Occupation Teaching Award. This year, it will be presented to Chad Borges. I want Are you going to participate also? Okay, sounds good. I just want to say a few words about Chad before the award is presented. Chad is, in addition to this teaching responsibility, he is our Associate Director for Undergraduate Studies. He has so much responsibilities that I cannot tell you how hard work that is. I am in awe for everything that Chad does. He does develop curriculum. He does assess our programs. He participates in scheduling of undergraduate programs. And he does everything with the honor and happiness, which I really admire. In addition to all of this, he's always helping the colleagues whenever someone needs help or needs advice or has a question or for us advocating for the students. Chad is always there. So so with my great honor to present him with this award. Please come.
All right, hello, everyone. This is the last award, so I will make it as quick as possible. I am Bianca Bond. I'm the president of the Student Affiliates of the American Chemical Society. I'm joined with Cristobal Moreno, who is our secretary, and we are very excited to present the award to Dr. Borges. We are in charge of nominating for DMSO award every year. And this year, when we reached out to our chemistry members and our board members, the choice was very clear. Chad Borges is a fantastic professor and researcher here at SMS. And students had nothing negative to say, which is difficult when you teach analytical chemistry. So I think that's very telling. But additionally, he's incredibly supportive of students, not only in answering difficult questions or explaining difficult concepts, but also just on their professional journey through chemistry and biochemistry. So SMS is very lucky to have him here as a professor. And I want to say thank you and also congratulations for winning this year. So thank you so much. And congratulations.
I guess this concludes our annual student award ceremony. I want to stress out how proud I am of all the students and all instructors and staffs that were nominated for this year's awards. I congratulate to all the recipients, and those that didn't get it this year, there is always next year. And so please try hard. We want to have new awards to award you next year. So finally, I want to acknowledge those who were on the scholarship committees who are in attendance. Please stand to be recognized. The award committee. Is there anyone here? Oh, yeah. Those that were involved in scholarship process and the ceremony planning, please stand up to be recognized. I also want to do one housekeeping thing. Please take your plates and dispose them on your way out because there are not that many people that can clean after us. And now, please, all awardees, please come on the stage to take a group photo. Thank you.